Thanks everyone for coming back for another segment of the MCR. Mac is to my left. My name's TJ. And in this segment, I came across an interesting flow chart, I guess you'll call it. And it was put out by the IEA, International Energy Association. And it was put out as a result of the war in Ukraine and how the price of oil has so skyrocketed, and as if it's proof enough for combating environmental issues and energy issues and blah 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 blah. And I just wanted to bounce off Mac these 10 items listed in the, I call it a flow chart, okay? And the very first one: reduce speed limits on highways by at least 10 kilometers per hour. And kilometers, because this is international, a kilometer is 0.62 miles. So if we were to transfer that or whatever, reduce speed limits on the U.S. highways by at least 6.2 miles an hour.
So for this to be effective, it would have to be imposed on the entire world, right?
Oh yeah.
So China's going to go along with this, right?
Yes. Yeah. You know, and that's the whole fallacy of this. I remember back, I would say in the 80s and 90s, we had that 55 mile per hour speed limit.
Yeah.
And on the 696 Autobahn, that it used to become referred to as, if we went back to 55 miles per hour, we would, I kid you not, we'd have people near double that speed limit because they're already going about 100 miles an hour.
1 year when I was driving it to a place we used to work at, the state police reported that the average speed going through Southfield, Michigan, which I-696 does, was 88 miles an hour.
And that
was
still is.
And you know what? I've seen people going, they had to have been going 110. How do I know this? Because I was going 101.
Yeah, you could do the speed limit and be passed like nothing.
It became actually a little bit dangerous to drive on that road.
To give you an idea how bad it was, state police would be on the shoulder and just sit there because where do you begin? You know, and I was talking to an ex-cop about this once. I said, wow, he's just sitting there. Well, yeah, if he tries to pull out, he's going to get rear-ended.
Yeah, by the cars that are going routinely 80.
Yeah.
When it's a 55 mile.
It really was turning into a joke on 696. Anyways, we digress. Item number 2. Work from home up to 3 days a week where possible. It sucks that this is being used as a reason to cut oil use. My sister works from home, and a lot of companies are working from home because at the end of the day, things have become so digital that why pay for leased space when people can do the same thing from home?
And in one sense, that makes sense.
But I just hate that it's being applied to cutting the use of oil.
Well, there's a danger in it as well.
As if it gives validity.
Yeah. There's a danger in it. Well, we could just abolish the automobile, which they want to do, and just not drive anywhere. We'll just all stay home.
You are getting dangerously close to some of the other items here, as usual.
The danger is putting all of our eggs in one basket, and that is, should we get a cyber attack from China or Russia? And this probably, I'm thinking this is going to happen someday. Shuts down our grids. That's going to be a nightmare if it happens in the winter here in the north. People, many, perhaps millions of people will freeze to death. But, they could shut down our entire economy like that.
Okay, number 3. I can't believe some of this is being seriously considered, by the way. Number 3, car-free Sundays in large cities. In other words, in large cities, no cars are driven.
I think that has more to do with their desire to control our mobility. Because right now, you and I could hop in my car and drive to Los Angeles if we had the money for the gas and the tolls and had the wherewithal to do it, time to do it. We could do that.
Car-free Sundays. You talk about living in make-believe land.
Yeah.
Number 4, make public transport cheaper incentivize micro-mobility, walking and cycling. So here we are, you need to adjust your horrible habits.
Yeah.
Of course, making public transport cheaper isn't necessarily a bad idea.
In your understanding of this, is any of this is done for the sole purpose of conserving oil, right?
Yes.
Because we were going to run out? Because there's no evidence of that anymore. That was a fallacy as well. We're not running out.
We're clearly in an alternate universe here.
Yes, okay.
All right.
I just wondered what their claim was.
That was number 4. Number 5, alternate private car use in large cities. Alternate private car use, so I guess that's carpooling. Carpooling isn't a bad idea.
No.
And some of these aren't bad ideas. It's just I get the feeling like if you were a good person, this is what you would be doing.
Or that certainly is how it would be. I expect to see a T-shirt or I'm a hero because I carpool.
Number 6 kind of goes hand in hand with 5. In fact, I don't know how they differentiate. Urge car sharing and practices that decrease fuel use. So
we're already doing that in most of the country.
I mean, as I drove here to Max today, I passed 2 exits that have parking lots dedicated to this practice.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there might have been 1 or 2 others that I just don't see from the
I know of
freeway.
at least 3 on your way.
But so we're already doing this. It's just if you were a really good person, you would.
Another opportunity for you to virtue signal.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. This is big time virtue signaling. All right. Number 7, and I don't know how this would be achieved. Promote efficient use of freight trucks and goods delivery. Trucks in their being are not very fuel efficient. So, unless they want to, go for like I see some smart connectors that run off of propane. But there's a problem with propane is they just don't have the horsepower.
I had a job where I worked for a courier service many years ago, and we had a propane vehicle. It smelled just nauseating. It wasn't very good, and they kind of canceled the thing. It didn't work.
Well,
propane is not free either.
Yeah. Number 8, prefer high speed and night trains to planes where possible. That wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea, especially depending on where you're going. It might be faster to take a train.
I recently went from Detroit Metro Airport to Harry Reid Airport newly named Harry Reid Airport in Las Vegas, and I was there in a little over 4 hours. I'm guessing it's days to get to. I know it's about 1,750 air miles, which is the shortest distance, of course. So what would a train be? I mean, how many days would it take?
My wife's, I'll say my brother-in-law, my wife's brother-in-law of mine took a train from, I want to say Colorado to Detroit, and he was on that train close to 2 days.
Okay, there you go.
And one of the problems is it stops it makes all these little stops.
Yeah.
It would have been much quicker had it been nonstop. But
and are they going to create nonstop trains?
Yeah. Where this might play a part is if you had a high-speed rail running from Detroit to Chicago. Mm-hmm. That might be more attractive than a plane.
Let's say Detroit to
Toledo?
No, to Las Vegas. In various places. I mean, this is a fallacy, of course. But to go to Las Vegas at 100 miles an hour, which is clipping for a train, right?
Yeah.
It would take 18 to 20 hours, I'm guessing.
There's also another problem with this. Our current rails are basically crap.
Yeah.
If we even had higher quality rails for the high-speed trains, we could even get more speed out of the passenger trains. But right now, the quality of the rails is a hindrance to the passenger trains not being able to go faster. Also, that's something that's not talked about much.
Right. Okay.
So here we are once again living in La La Land.
Now let's pretend utopia.
Yep. Number 9, avoid business travel when alternatives exist. Well, they're talking about the Zoom meetings, which are a pretty good idea.
Yeah, that's nothing new. They've been doing that for 30 plus years.
Yeah. I remember back when we had that when we worked in Plymouth, they had that conference room set up for exactly that because they were international meetings.
Yeah, because it was a global company.
Yeah.
Flying to China or wherever they were doing business was not practical.
And last and certainly least, hasten adoption of electric and more fuel-efficient vehicles. Just la-la land to the max.
Well, we don't have a grid that can support it. In California, they already tell people don't drive your car, don't charge your car, because it's gonna crash the grid. So, and even just in one state, they already admit they can't do it. It's again more virtual signaling. I'm saving the planet T-shirt.
Yeah.
Blah blah. Which you're not, by the way. I don't believe that for 1 minute.
One of the main reasons why I wanted to mention these 10 points of the IEA, if they had their druthers, this shit would be mandatory. And do not even kid yourself.
No, they would impose this upon us in a heartbeat if they were given the opportunity, and that opportunity would be the Great Reset Glenn Beck talks about all the time.
So that's the concern with these 10 points is right now it's virtue signaling. In 20 years, it might be virtue mandating.
Yeah, right.
So,
and if you think you're going to live under that kind of mandates and have a happy life or a productive life, because like everything, it has a domino or a ripple effect, and that could be another video perhaps.
Next thing you know, we'll be eating Soylent Green.
Yeah, we are Soylent. It's people.
So, anyways, that's all I got. Any
like I said,
comments?
This could be a very long video, an hour, but we're not going to do that. So,
all right. So with that, we'll wrap. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.